Jerry Tipton, we'll start with you.
Well, John, what did you think of Davion's shooting display early in the second half? How hot was he in your eyes?
I don't know if you saw us in the huddle where he drove by me and then pulled up and shot one. And I told them a story in the huddle. I said in 1995, we're playing Xavier in the hockey arena, whatever that building was called. In Edgar Padilla, we fought the whole game, and Xavier had us, and we come flying down, and he runs by me, Edgar Padilla, and I said, "Don't you shoot it. Don't you shoot it." He shot it and made it, and we won the game. Davion ran by me, and I didn't say that. I just said, "Easy now, easy, easy." Bang, he made it. So I told him the story in there. And but no, I'm happy for him. I thought, guys played better. I'm liking the fact that we went against zone, and now you hear me the whole game swing it, because it's not what they do naturally. Every one of them gets the ball and holds it, and so we're having to encourage them pass it. How about this ball fake? You don't have to pass and swing. You can grab it, ball fake, and then throw the other way. Pass fake, throw the other way, or just get rid of it. Or how about this one? Shoot it, or catch it and drive it. You cannot catch it and hold and start pointing and, or look to the post, look to the post, look to the post, look to the post. You can't play that way against the zone. And so we got better, and we made some shots. But again, we had 17 assists. And some of the turns we had, were in the last 5-6 minutes of the game. So the press didn't hurt us. I mean, it was... we rebounded better in the second half than we did in the first. And it's a good send-off for us. I got to play Lance. I got to play Dante. And again, I mean, what poor Dante, and I love the kid. He and I have talked individually. But there was so much on him that, he's let him go shoot every ball. And, and these kids, they're they know, who they are, what they can do. And anytime you're trying to have a kid do more than he is, it's not fair to the kids. And so what I said today, and I told him, I'm playing you. I don't care if you miss shots, make them, shoot the ball. We're in practice encouraging him to shoot, because there may be a game coming up where he needs to go in and bang a couple threes, because we're dying right now. And we needed him. And I wanted to play Cam. Cam did fine. He got a little bit winded. And then the other thing is, normally we're in games like this throughout the year where I can play Zan more, and I can play Riley more, and Brennan and Kareem. And this is like the first chance they got to play, last game of the regular season. And so, now it's, day off and 2 days to get ready to, try to, play in a tournament that we've had success in. I wish it was a full house, because we'd have 17,000 fans there. My hope is our fans figure out a way of getting in anyway. Sneak in, jump through windows, do whatever. Have your mask on so they don't know it's you. Get in there.
Larry Vaught and Daryl.
John, what do you think this kind of win can do for your team's confidence? And was the team we saw today the team you thought we were going to see all year?
Well, the last two games, you had a chance to win both of those games. And if we had done that and smacked that, we'd all be saying, like, wow. And so I keep coming back to, when you're in this boat, and it's hard for young kids, you have to take the approach that, all right, how would I feel if we won those two games? Where would my mindset be? Because that's where it's got to be. You have to have that kind of confidence. And the biggest thing, again, I wanted them to make a run, and they did. They made a couple runs, they got it, and then we spread it out. We made shots. Somebody asked me last night, well, who do you go to when you want to stop the bleeding? Who do you go to when you need a game winner? It is game to game. At Tennessee, Davion spread the game out for us. This game, he spread the game out for us. And then Isaiah rebounded and went crazy on the backboard and, didn't give them second and third chances.
Daryl and Kyle.
Yeah, John, you were talking yesterday about having to have the mentality of being 0-0 heading into postseason. How hard is that amnesia? What's the key to pulling something like that off? Because even when you have great years, you still have to convince your team everybody's 0-0, one loss, and you go home.
Yeah, it's one game. And in our first game, I'm hearing it could be one of 4 or 5 teams. And that first game is going to be ridiculously hard, but good. It'll be hard for that other team, too. I'm not thinking they're looking forward to seeing my team, especially coming off this kind of game. But, it's one game 4 times. One game. We're going to probably play the first game noon. We're not even going to know who our game is until 4. And so it's one game. And then you go.
Carl Tucker, then John Clay.
Yeah, Cal, I wonder, as you've watched BJ kind of ride the roller coaster this season, and a kid, you talk about somebody that had a lot on him. I mean, he put some of it on himself when he came out and publicly said, I want to be the best player ever. That's a lot to say for a kid, and obviously that's been mocked some since then. But to come in with that kind of expectation to be this superstar and go through all he's gone through, is it hard to do what he just did today on the back end of it to still be in it enough to be?
Let me tell you why I stick with him. Every day I look in that gym, whether it's after practice, whether it's morning, he's in there like some of the better players. Here's the issue for him. It's not mentally, it's physically. He's physically not able to do what his mind is telling him to do. And I'm trying to get him to make the easiest plays, catch and shoots, one dribble pull-ups. If you get to the rim, try to get fouled, because it's not anything mental, it is more physical. And that, it holds him back a little bit at this point. But he's never lost the fight. This stuff has been hard for him. And it's also eye-opening to know, as an individual player, man, physically, I'm not where I need to be physically. And so, we've had other guys. It was like Emmanuel Quickly. Emmanuel Quickly walked in my office and said, Coach, I know you said this would be hard. This after his freshman year. This is way harder than I thought, and I didn't have a good year. But I'm coming back, and you watch. No one will outwork me. Those are the guys that should come back. That mentality, P.J. Washington, that mentality. I'm not coming back to do Showtime. I'm not coming back to say, hey, this is my team. I am coming back because I'm going to get better, and I can accept that I didn't play the way I needed to play. And this is way harder than I thought.
Are you hoping then that BJ is the guy who's willing to say that to you?
Well, again, every kid I'll spend 3 minutes with each of these kids. I don't spend that much time on this. I'm not trying to, I like when kids go through the process because the teams aren't going to lie to them. They're going to tell them the truth. Going through the process is good. So, whether it's any of these guys, you can't be delusional, because if you are, it'll catch you. You have to be real, and you can't blame anybody for your performance. You own it. And then you say, here's what I can do and how I can get better. But like right now, I'm not worried about that in neither of these guys. They're worried about taking a day, having a couple practices, and let's get ready for a tournament, one game at a time, one game, 4 different days.
John Clay and then John Hale, we'll see where we're at.
John, you mentioned Cameron. Fletcher got some clock today. How's he been doing? How's his attitude, and how's he been doing in practice?
I'm so proud, and I brought it up 4 or 5 different times to the team. How's his attitude, guys? And they all clap. He's been positive, upbeat. It has been a total transformation when I had to tell him you need to take some time. Total. Because he knew you're not doing that. Where we were after the North Carolina game with attitudes and where we are now, I just wish we had the summer and fall. And I know I'm making it so that we could work on the habits and have kids understand how you respond. How, when there's something around you, the thing that you own is your response to it. And, but he's been fabulous. And I told him, I want to get you in. I want you to play. So he was good. Lance was terrific today. You saw him go in and fight. You know, he grabbed the ball from the different guys, and that's who he is. You know, he missed a basket or two, but that, look, we need guys that'll go in and fight. Devin was better. You know, I think, you know, putting his minutes down a little bit made him fresher and make better decisions. So,
John Hale, go ahead.
and Jacob, you leave him off. What he does defensively, his length on the court, we're really long now. You get a point guard and one guy's 6'8", one guy's 6'7", one guy's 6'9" or 10, and the other guy's 7 foot. We're really long.
Go ahead, John Hale, with the players in here.
Cal, your teams have had so much success at the SEC tournament, but the one year you did have to win it to get into the NCAA, it didn't go as well. So in reality, how do you communicate that one game at a time mentality to get guys to actually buy into that when they know
Well,
mistakes?
we talked to the team, and there was other years. The year we had the 5 freshmen play, if we'd have lost in the first round, they made us an 8th seed and we went to the final game. So that you're not accurate in what you're saying there, but it's been every team I've coached at the other 2 schools too. We were in the same position. That when you look back, we have gone through the war and we have been scarred, but it prepares us. Every game we play ends up being a 2-bucket game right down to the stretch. And we're fighting with every team. And you know what? That's what prepares you. Now, you're better off winning because you'll have a little different attitude, but that only comes into play if they make a run at us. I got to convince them in those huddles to stay the course, to stop the bleeding, to make the easiest plays. Someone make a basket or two, we're fine. That'll be my job. But you know what? They are prepared just like all the other teams here. I think we've been in the finals in the last 10 years a bunch. And you know what? They went through the same wars that this team went through. The only difference is about 4 of them or 5 of them that we could have won, those teams won. We happened to drop, and everybody says, what happens the last 3 minutes, and they make a run, and you falter, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, part of that is starting 1-6. Hard to build confidence when you're 1-6.